Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the messy middle of transitions, that where you're kind of in between the before and after phase, and it's typically not a phase of change that's very glamorous or cute. And often in this phase, you feel almost like that caterpillar when it's in the chrysalis. It's kind of dark and murky, and it can feel very isolating before you move out towards butterfly. But I want to reassure you that this place is a sacred place and that you're not stuck. And in this video, I'm going to give you some ways to navigate this phase with grace and trust the process of the messy middle. In fact, the messiness, believe it or not, is part of the blessiness. My friend Betsy coined that phrase. You know, in this phase, you are not who you used to be, and you're not quite who you're becoming. Your identity feels almost like it's in flux. The mind hates the messy middle. It wants quick relief. If we haven't met yet, I'm Kimberly, and I support women and non-binary people through life's big transitions, whether it's a choice that you're making or a choice that is thrust upon you, like divorce, empty nest, a career change, a relocation, a breakup, injury recovery, or any creative projects that you're in the midst of. All of these messy middles are typically where I meet most of my clients. There are a couple of reasons why the messy middle feels so intense. First of all, your self-talk gets loud, and often those voices in your head, you can start to wonder, is that the voice of my intuition, or is that just a protector or a saboteur? Those negative voices are trying to keep you safe, and it's helpful to acknowledge them and maybe even, give them a name to help you reconnect with the true self. Sometimes those negative voices will ask you, like, are you sure that this doesn't seem like a good idea? Or maybe we should just stay with what we know. The other reason the messy middle can be so intense is other people's reactions around you. Because you're in this delicate phase, you might also feel more sensitive to the perspectives and advice and comments of people around you. And often the choices that you might be making, especially if you're staying true to your true self and your soul's evolution, will often not make sense to the people who love you. Think like Tower card and Fool card energy together. It's like things are falling apart and you are liberating yourself and walking on air at the same time. While you're walking on air, some people might think they are falling off a cliff. About 8 years ago, I was living in Amman, Jordan, and I was going through a divorce. I had, my kids were young at the time in elementary school. My ex had moved back to Italy, and I was really wondering what was my next step. Without that clear next step, even though it was hard not to make a move or a decision to feel safe, I really trusted in that maybe messy middle, that sacred pause, until I knew clearly what was the next move. So I applied for a job in Washington, D.C. I felt like, okay, that would be a good next move. That job fell through. And then, I really checked in with myself. And my clear yes was to move to New York City. Now, again, this from the outside looked like temporary insanity. And I am so glad that, one, I took the time to make the decision that felt most in alignment for me and my children. And number two, that I didn't listen to all the voices around me. Again, very well-intended voices, giving me advice of where I should be, where I should live, when I should move. That is the messy middle. It looks chaotic, but is deeply intelligent. So here are some things to do if you feel like you're in the messy middle. Number one, regulate your nervous system in a way that feels really nourishing to you. So think sleep and good healthy food and being in nature. If you think of the chrysalis and you think of the protection in that space, it is cozy and protected for a reason. So your job is to protect your energy, because in this place you can feel almost like a tenderness. If you think about a snake that sheds its skin as it grows, there's like a tenderness to that new skin. So while you're preparing for the change that's coming, it can be a very tender place. So I want you to feel nourished and protected. I want you to breathe, and especially long, deep exhales. Even right now, just take a nice, long exhale and blow out all the air in your lungs. Being able to calm your nervous system through exercise, nature, deep breaths, good sleep, will send a signal to your system that you are grounded, that you are calm, and that your energy is protected. Your job is to protect your energy, mind, body, spirit, and calm your nervous system. Number 2 is a reminder to trust that you and only you truly know where you are heading. No one else has the map. Number 3, honor where you are. Honor every emotion. In the messy middle, confusion is a sign and frustration is sacred. So I would like you to reframe your frustration is pulling you in a different direction. It's actually helping you to move to a place more in alignment. If you're feeling fear, remember that fear and excitement live in the same place in the brain, and sometimes and often they show up together. You're not doing it wrong, you're doing it real. Number 4, honor where you're going. So just as much as you're honoring where you are, don't get stuck in that place of confusion. Really connect with the energy of where you're moving to, because then the future self is becoming more and more present. And anything from like photos, journaling, and voice memos, and reminding yourself of where you want to go, meditating to see where is it that I want to go. If I don't want to be here in the middle of doubt and confusion and grief and sadness, then what is it that I'm moving towards? And get very clear on where you're going. Number 5, this is one of my favorites. Just move the body. Just do it, like right now. Move the body. When you're moving, you are telling the body that you're not stuck. So put on some music, dance, go for a walk. Those are all really important reminders from the soul to the human that you are absolutely not stuck. You are in motion. Number 6, you decide the pace of change. Even if this change is being thrust upon you, I want you to remember that there is absolutely no rush. You can take tiny steps or giant leaps. Your timing is sovereign, and you get to wait until you feel ready. One thing at a time, one breath at a time, one moment at a time. Number 7, when the voices come up of negative self-talk, the protectors and saboteurs, have a conversation with them. Remind them that they are not driving the bus. Your true self and your higher self are the ones at the wheel. Number 8, especially when you're feeling overwhelmed, remember that tiny steps in the direction of where you're moving are going to get you to your new reality. So remember, just like in a plane, if the pilot just moves the plane 1%, gradually in a different direction, the pilot's going to move you to a completely different location. So small sacred steps are the way towards change. If, let's say, you're in the middle of writing a book and you're thinking just 30 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, 4 days a week, tiny steps, one word on the page. That's where it all starts. Number 9 is discern where you're getting advice or mentoring from. Now, there might be times when you're in the messy middle of a project or a transition where you need some other people's expertise. Maybe you're seeking guidance. Even then, I want you to discern. There are often many options. Let's say you're looking for legal advice in the middle of a divorce. Really tune in to who feels like the person who can give you legal advice and who feels like a yes and a no. Notice who you're asking, and remember that some people can only advise you from their own experience or their fears. Most direction during transition, I want you to seek from within. And lastly, use your intuition in the messy middle. Ask good questions. So let's say, for example, you are looking for a new career or a new job. Your intuition is best activated by questions. So asking questions, slowing down, being in a receptive state. So what's in my highest good to do today related to my job search? Who is in my highest good to talk to today about my job search? What's one action I can take to move me in the direction of my new reality? And I'm going to link a video here about good questions to ask your intuition. Your intuition speaks to you when there's space. So allow yourself the time and space to really slow down and be in that receptive space. To close this video, I'd like to offer you an energetic transmission. And as always, really make this transmission your own. So let's start by taking a really nice, slow breath together. And if you're able, close your eyes or keep your eyes nice and soft. I'd like you to connect with the heart space or the heart center. You might put your hand on your heart. And that's a great way to remember to move the energy down from the head space, down to the heart, the seat of the soul. And imagine there at the center of the chest, there's a beautiful light. Imagine that has color or colors, and just allow it to radiate, reminding you that you're a soul being. And allow it to extend outward. So I like to imagine almost like I'm in this bubble of lights in my auric field. And by doing this, imagine that you're creating this beautiful bubble of light. It's almost like an opalescent bubble. And in this bubble, there's a space of softness and protection. And if it feels good, almost put like little mirrored qualities to the outside of the bubble. And breathe. And know that this bubble is not a wall, it's just this beautiful protecting light. And now returning to the body. And feeling all the touch points with the earth, allowing anything that's not in your highest good to be dissolved. Imagine that it is leaving the body through all the touch points with the earth. So any tension, any stress, any worries of the mind are just leaving the body through the feet, through your bottom. And breathe. And imagine all of those unwanted patterns and feelings are being swept away by the light of love and transmuted and sent to the universal sun. And as you release all the unwanted energies, known or unknown, just imagine that you can see the color or colors leaving the body, the energetic body, the physical body. And then imagine at the top of your bubble, you're going to just open up this channel of light so that you can breathe in this feeling of trust and wholeness and faith in the unseen and faith in the direction that your soul is guiding you to go. And breathe and imagine that's almost like this beautiful fountain or like shower that's coming down upon you. Might even give it a color, like a golden color or a white color, infusing every cell of your being with wholeness, with trust. And breathe and allow yourself to remember that part of being a human in a body is going through transitions of all kinds, and they help you evolve, they help our planet evolve. So just breathe in that knowing that this is helping you, supporting you and other souls on your path, that it's part of your life's plan. And breathe in the knowing that there is support of all kinds around you, visible and invisible forces that are supporting you every step of the way. And to receive this support, all you need to do is call it in, and call in whatever other energies would serve you in this moment. Maybe a feeling of love and unconditional love. Calling in a remembering of your own soul's essence and purpose. And remember, my friend, that this part of the transition, it's not a detour. You're not on the wrong path. It is just part of the path. It is truly part of the journey that you're on. If you have any comments or questions or want to share your experiences with a messy middle or what works for you, please put them in the comments below. And thank you for watching, my friend. We'll see you soon.